centers, sa mga review centers, mga review materials. So ang gagawin na natin is just we will go over, analyze, and then let's see kung paano ang analysis of each item. Kasi in order for you to understand better a question, at least you should know the basic, the base. You should know the core of the topic. Para kahit balibalik pa rin man yung, i-rephrase man yung mga questions, ipaparaphrase, hindi ka mawawala. Kasi minsan, karamihan ng mga estudyante, pag nabasa yung question, and may similarity lang na nakita, agad-agad sasabihin nila na eto ang sagot, itong nabasa ko. Kahit hindi naman binabasa ng mabuti yung questions. Kasi minsan, pinaparaphrase siya na ganun. So, mas mainam, let's say, every after topic, mag-let review para at least fresh pa. Para pagdating ng araw, during the review classes na, recall na lang ang gagawin mo. So, parang ang ginagawa natin is assessment and evaluation. So, parang quiz. After every lesson, quiz. Para later on is the recall na lang siya. And in addition to the different materials that you explore, that you encountered online. During the review, mas mainam din na marami na kasing nagpapa-review sa sa YouTube, online, mga webinars. Maganda din makinig minsan kasi nakaka-refresh. Okay? So, ito yung part 2 on child and adolescent development. It focuses more on theories of development. So, usually, there are 4, 5, or 6 prominent personalities or icons in terms of the theories of development. So, sa kanila lang nagre-revolve yung theories na yan. So, let's have the first one. Which of the following is the correct order of psychosexual stages proposed by Sigmund Freud? So, sinabi na dyan, kay Sigmund Freud, psychosexual. So, correct order, it means from birth, ano yung mga order ng psychosexual stages. Okay, so here we have letter A, oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital stage. So, kung isipin, kung nabasa mong Sigmund Freud, oral ka agad. So, magiging ano mo dito, cross out na yung B and D. Kasi sa anal stage sila nag-uumpisa. So, mamimili ka na lang, it's either A or C. So, and then, ang clue nyo dito is, after anal, phallic ka agad. Ito, anus. Ito, mouth, oral. Ito naman sa anus. Phallic sa sexual organs. And then, latency and genital stage. So, anal stage, phallic stage. So, letter A ang sagot doon. Dito kasi nag-genital na siya kagad. Last yung phallic stage of psychosexual development from Sigmund Freud. Okay, so the correct answer is letter A. When a small child calls another animal that looks like a little bit like a dog, it thinks and calls it a dog. What learning process is illustrated on Piaget's cognitive development? So if you can recall our example before about yung nakakita siya ng cow.
Lahat cow na lang sa kanya.
Hindi, may dog muna siya una nakita niya. Dog. Ay, cow ba or dog? Dog ang nakita
parang
niya.
Parang dog yung example natin sa...
Oo. Yung kasi yung una niya nakita, kasi 4 ang legs. So nakita niya ang cow, sasabihin niya dog din. Kasi nga 4 ang legs. Okay? So dito naman, sabi niya, nakakita siya ng parang dog, pero sabi niya dog na. So that is the process of assimilation. Na-assimilate pa lang niya. Pero the original concept there is schema. So sa choices, kung alam mo yung cognitive development theory ni Piaget, cross out mo na yung reversion tsaka equilibration kasi hindi sila kasama. So mamimili ka lang between assimilation and accommodation.
Accommodation.
Yung accommodation naman, yung natuto na siya konti.
Identify mo talaga.
Yes, sasabihin niya na, parang aso nga, pero hindi siya aso. Kasi nasa farm siya nakatira. So, cow pala siya o parang ganun. That's accommodation. May bago siyang natutunan. Kumbaga. So, schema, muna yung dog. Tapos nakakita siya ng cow, sasabihin niya dog. That's assimilation. Kasi sinabi niyang dog yung cow kasi apat din ang paa. Tapos nung natutunan niyang, hindi pala dog siya. Horse pala siya kasi sa farm pala siya nakatira. So may bago siyang learning doon na pag sa farm, cow. Pag sa bahay, dog. That's accommodation na siya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So here is assimilation pala siya. Na-assimilate lang niya. Ginagaya. So letter C is assimilation. When a baby realized that a rubber duck which has fallen out of the tub must be somewhere on the floor, he is likely to achieve what aspect of cognitive development? Ito yung mga object permanence, mental combinations, deferred imitation, goal-directed behavior. If you try to look at the choices, yung C and D, magpo-cross out na siya. Kasi kung cognitive development, sa brain yan, so sa mentality. So it's either A and B lang siya. Yung deferred imitation, more on kinetic. Yung behavior naman, more on affective. Di ba sa every lesson na pinag-aralan, sa lesson planning later on, di ba merong 3 parts ng objectives ng lesson plan. Ang lesson plan mo dapat merong affective. Yun yung natututunan sa behavior. Psychomotor or psychomotor skills or kinesthetics, yun naman sa galaw. And then, cognitive. May natututunan din mentally. So here, object permanence. Kasi, according to Jean Piaget, sa cognitive development, ang object permanence, ito yung sa sa ilang taon yun, nasa 2 years old or more than a year. Parang may instinct na sa kanila na parang din assimilation, nagiging permanent yung object sa kanila. So tinawag siyang object permanent. Dito sa example, a rubber duck na nahulog daw sa tub, syempre, isipin niya nasa floor. Kasi nahulog Kasi yung floor, nagiging permanent din sa kanya. So that is object permanence sa cognitive theory. Number 4, the theme of Vygotsky, sociocultural learning theory, emphasizes the role of appropriate assistance given by the teacher to accomplish a task. Para matandaan, si Piaget, ang theory niya sa mental, sa cognitive, sa brain development yan. Kay Sigmund Freud, sa psychoanalytic tsaka sexual naman. Kay Lev Vygotsky naman, this is more on sociocultural. Yung tinatawag nating scaffolding. Natututo ang bata sa kanyang society. Sa tulong ng nasa environment. Parang gano'n. So, here, such help enables the child to move from the zone of actual development to a zone of proximal development. kung sino yung nakakahalubilo ng bata. And this assistance is called, ito na na-mention ko kanina, scaffolding. Parang yung scaffolding na gamit, scaffold, parang ladderized din siya, kumbaga, na bago tumakbo ang bata, dapat matututo muna siyang mag-crawl and mag-walk. So that can be developed with the help of the environment, socio-cultural, let's say family. Yung first family na kakasama sa bahay, yung housemate. Yan. So we call it scaffolding. Of Piaget's cognitive concepts, which refer to the process of fitting a new experience to previously created cognitive structure or schema. O, ito rin kanina yung example na dog, or fitting a new experience to previously cognitive structure or schema. Anong susunod sa schema? Assimilation. Okay? Kasi dito, malilito kayo. So sa choices, cross out mo ng equilibrium kasi wala namang equilibrium. It's either schema, assimilation, accommodation lang siya. Now, in the question, sabi dito, new experience to a previously created structure. Kasi baka isipin mo, new experience, kaya accommodation ka agad. No. Tama yon. Pero sabi dito, schema. So, kung sabi dito, kung ang sa question sana is new experience to a previously created experience na walang cognitive structure or schema, ang magiging sagot dyan is accommodation. Pero sabi kasi dito, from schema. Ang susunod sa schema is assimilation muna bago mag-accommodation. Kasi yung assimilation and accommodation, both na may new experience, both na may new knowledge, may bago silang natutunan. Kagaya nung example natin, etong schema, yung bata nakakita siya ng dog. Na-realize niya ng dog ay 4 ang paa. That's schema. That's the concept. Tapos, pagpunta niya sa labas, nakakita siya ng cow. Sasabihin niya yung cow ay dog. So, that's assimilation. May bago siyang natutunan kasi pareho silang 4 na paa, kaya dog din ang ano niya. Nag-assimilate siya. Tapos, nung na-realize niya na eto palang cow na to sa labas, ang dog sa loob, pwede na rin yung accommodation, yung may realization siya. Okay? So, ang pagkakasunod-sunod is schema, assimilation, and accommodation. Kaya dito, ang sagot is assimilation. Ang clue nyo dito is schema. So, after schema is assimilation. Now, kay Erik Erikson, psychosocial theory, what is the best description of Erikson's psychosocial theory of human development? Ano yung psychosocial theory ni Erikson? Ito yung stages ng society, yung paano makipag-interact ang bata. So we have letter A. Meron siyang 8 stages, 8 crises that all people are ought to face. Yung trust versus mistrust, munang mauuna hanggang sa dulo. So 8 stages yon. Etong 4, hindi siya kasi 4 lang. 8. Kasi pag pag sabi mo Erik Erikson, 8 stages yung kanya. So magiging clue mo baka itong A. B, mali. The same number of stages as Freud but with different names. Si Sigmund Freud, hindi, ilan lang yung kanya? 5. A theory that is not psychoanalytic. Tama din naman. Hindi naman siya psychoanalytic talaga. So, letter A. Mas okay ang A kasi there are 8 stages, 8 crises na kakaharapin ng bata. Kaya madali lang sagutin ang mga theories basta alam mo yung base ng mga icons na yan or personalities in terms of human development. Ito pareho din. It is an organized pattern of knowledge according to Piaget's concept. Letter C, yung nauuna, schema. Ito yung, ang clue mo dito is pattern. Dito niya pinapattern yung i-assimilate ng bata at saka yung i-accommodate niya na knowledge. So, the base or the pattern for Piaget's concept is what we call as schema. In Erickson's theory, what is the unresolved crisis of an adult? Difficulty establishing a secure mutual relationship with partner. Kung maalala mo yung kay Erickson's theory, partner na ang pinag-uusapan, so ibig sabihin, medyo nasa stage, ano na siya, 6, 7, 8. Sa dulo na. So, initiative, hindi. Kasi nasa baba ito. Autonomy, hindi rin. Trust and mistrust, ito yung una. Ito pa yung kapapanganak na bata. So, the answer is intimacy or isolation. Ang clue mo dito, siyempre, life partner. Anong gagawin niya sa life partner? Siyempre, yung intimate moments. Otherwise, ma-isolate niya ang sarili niya. Autonomy versus shame, ito yung pang pre-elementary, mga ganon. Okay. Eliza is 8 years old, and although she understands some logical principles, she still has troubles in understanding hypothetical concepts. According to Piaget, Eliza belongs to what particular of cognitive development? 8 years old. Ang 8 years old, hindi siya concrete operational. Kasi 8 years old pa lang eh. Ano dapat? Kay Piaget, anong stage sa four stages ni Piaget ang 8 years old? Tama, concrete operational siya kasi sensory, birth to 2 years old. Pre-operational is 2 to 7 years old. 7 to 11 ang concrete operational. So tama, concrete operational pala. I am thinking of formal operational pala. So tama yung itong pagkakasunod-sunod. Concrete operational is from 7 to 11 years old. So nandito yung kanyang cognitive development. So ito naman is 11 years old. Concrete operational, pero ano ang kanyang mga task? So imagine mo ang 11 years old. Able to see relationships and to reason in the abstract. Nag-abstract na ba ang mga 11 years old? Unable to break down the whole into separate parts, o negative to unable daw. Differentiate goals and goal-directed activities. O parang hindi kasi masyado namang ano to, pang-adults. Experiment with methods to reach goals. So, yung B, unable, cross out na yan. Kasi 11 years old, alam naman na niyang mag-breakdown ng whole into separate parts. Ito naman, ang 11 years old, hindi pa sila goal-directed activities. Gawain ito ng mga adults na or mga adolescents. Etong experiment with methods to reach goals, ito na yung sa career. So hindi siya pang 11 years old. So the correct answer is able to see relationship and to reason in the abstract. Marunong na rin silang nag-reason out, nag-abstract. So makikita mo din talaga sa mga choices. Kung dito, i-cross out ko ang C and D kasi eto pang mature individuals. So the correct answer is letter A.
A.
Which of the following will be Freud's description of child behavior if he has biting, sarcastic manner? Biting. So hindi naman anal, hindi rin anal kasi sa anus yon. So biting sa oral yon, sa bunganga. Di ba? Na-fixate siya sa oral stage kaya nung paglaki niya, meron siyang biting and sarcastic manner. Kaya sabi dito,
Nagbibideo okay na
Ay.
fixated in the oral stage. Okay? So, napakadali lang pag itong question kasi anally expulsive. Mali na kaagad kasi anal siya eh. Anal, more on sa toilet training ito, sa anus. Eh dito, biting. So, pag biting, bunganga. So, tingnan mo dito yung oral stage. Jackson, a 7-year-old boy, tends to name his toy car Alex. On what stage of cognitive development does Jackson belong? So 7 years old. Ang 7 to 11 is concrete operational, pero wala sa choices ang concrete operational. At 2 to 7 years old, yung pre-operational. Kaya ito yung answer. Kaya ang pag-memorize nyo sa mga sa mga concept of theories, dapat halimbawa, Piaget, sensory, pre-operational, concrete, and formal operational. Magkakaano kasi yan magkaka-level. Kung sensory motor, 0 to 6 years old, ang equivalence naman niya sa ibang mga yun yung oral stage kay mga ganon. Kay Freud, kay Erikson yung Pras versus Mistra, mga ganon ba? Yung level. Para hindi kayo malito. So dito, meron ang option kasi na hindi naman nasaling pusa ang tawag ay distractor or joker, mga ganon. So dito, inactive, ito yung parang distractor dito. O Piaget pa rin, analogy. Ang pre-operational is to transductive reasoning. Pre-operational, again, is 2 to 7. Concrete operational is 7 to 11. Pag transductive daw, deductive naman yung opposite. Reasoning. From specific to general. Freud. So, ito na yung nag-aral natin dati. Pag Electra, si baby girl, siselos siya sa kanyang tatay. Nanay. Kasi gusto niya, sa kanya lang yung tatay niya. Parang ganon. Ang Oedipus complex naman, si baby boy, nagsiselos siya kay tatay niya. Kasi gusto niya, kanya lang si mother. Parang ganon. Pag Electra kasi si baby girl, daughter yan. When a little girl who says on vacation so that she can marry her father, Freud believes that she is voicing a fantasy consistent with letter B, Electra. Electra complex. Kasi little girl. So si little girl, nagsiselos siya sa kanyang nanay. Kaya gusto niya magbakasyon ang nanay niya para masolo niya ang tatay niya. Parang gano'n. May mga ganong fantasy ang mga bata. Kaya ito yung case na nag-generalize tayo na mama's boy yan, papa's boy yan, or mama's girl, papa's girl. Kasi may favoritism sila. Kumbaga. Ulit-ulit lang din. Yung mga questions, nag-ano lang, ni-rephrase lang. To describe what occurs when new information or experiences cause you to modify existing schema. Take note dito ha, kahit sinabing is schema, pero may word ng modification. Minumodify na ng bata, binabago na niya yung concept. Pinapalitan na niya totally. So in this example, yung sa example natin, yung horse, sasabihin niya na sa farm pala nakatira. Nakakita siya ng horse na, sasabihin na niyang horse kasi na-modify na niya yung concept ng dog into cow sa horse. Accommodation na siya. So, kahit may sinabi ditong schema, we have the word here, modification. And feelings of failure, they're experiencing what particular crisis? Crisis. Pero, ang clue nyo dito is preschool. Anong crisis ang kinakaharap ng mga batang preschool about criticism and feelings of failure? So letter A, identity versus role confusion, mali. Kasi ito, pang teenager ito. Yung may identity crisis. Initiative versus guilt, pwede. Basic trust versus mistrust, pwede. Efficacy versus helplessness, pwede din. But let's take a look at preschool. Pag sinabi mong preschool, nasa pangalawang stage yun. Ang unang stage is trust versus mistrust, so hindi na pwede to. Ang trust versus mistrust, para to sa mga bagong panganak until 2 years old. Yung wala silang tiwala kumbaga sa strangers. So cross out na din to. So, since wala namang efficacy versus helplessness sa stages, the answer now is initiative versus guilt. Ito yung mga time na nagigilty ang mga bata pag in terms of failure sa school, mga preschoolers. Kaya sila lagi gustong may star pag uwi. Kasi for them, that is a sign of initiative. Kasi pag wala silang star, ang isipin nila, baka failed sila sa klase. I mean, hindi sila nag-perform today or in that particular instance. Kaya nagkakaroon sila ng crisis ng initiative versus guilt. Kaya kailangan sila nagpupursige lagi just to earn a star before going home sa bahay. Okay? So here, the correct answer is initiative versus guilt. Kung memorize nyo ang 8 stages, mas madali nyo din masagot ang mga questions. Cognitive naman siya. He can already understand specific logical ideas and apply them to concrete problems. So medyo mataas ng level. So hindi na siya pre-operation. Hindi na rin siya operational. It's either formal or dito. Create operational thought. Kasi hindi pa masyadong formal eh. Ano pa lang siya, specific ideas, then na-apply niya sa pag-solve ng concrete problems. Pwede rin kasi yung B, operational thought, pero dahil lang sa create operational thought. Parang pareho din. 17, pwede rin yung B, pwede rin yung C. Pwede, both. B and C. Wala si Sir Jomar. What is the best explanation of Piaget's concrete operational thought to describe the school-age child's mental ability? Concrete. Pangatlo.
Can understand.
Letter
C. Can understand that certain characteristics.
same when other characteristics are changed. To think about how he thinks, can understand moral principles. Ito yung last na to. To think about what he thinks, can reason logically. So ang choices mo dito, A or C. About things and events he or she perceives. Dito naman yung egocentrism siya about how he thinks. So letter C. Pag ganitong question na seemingly, minsan kasi alam mo ang sakit natin pag ganitong mahaba at parang magkakapareho. Ayaw na natin i-analyze kasi time constraint naman kasi you are only given a minute or 50 seconds para basahin at sagutin. Diba? So pag ganito na, pagkabasa mo pa lang ng question, look for the best clue. Dito kasi is best explanation. So, ibig sabihin, almost tama lahat yung sagot. Diba? Almost tama. So, ang gagawin mo is look for the most general na sagot. When we say most general, yun yung it can encompass the others. Or it can, pwede siyang maging umbrella ng ibang choices. Dito kasi is understanding na understanding. Pero ang letter D naman may understanding pero it deals with moral principles na. Ang school age child, yung mga nasa school pa, wala pa yung moral principles. And sa standards of society. Pero pag college siguro pwede na, pero ito kasi hindi pa. So, ito naman yung kay moral. Kay Kohlberg, kay Lawrence Kohlberg, Theory of Moral Development. Pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional. 9 to 11, nasa letter B. Kung 9 to 11, nasa gitna na siya. Kasi ang pre-conventional, yun yung from birth until 8 years old, 9 years old. Pag post naman, sa adults na yan. Dito, between 9 to 11 years of age, ano dapat ang moral reasoning ng bata? Nasa conventional pa lang siya. Ano yung mga nasa conventional? Yun yung kung ano yung nakikitang mali sa mga kasama, yun ay mali. Sa mga kalaro, yun ay tama. Doon pa lang siya nagbe-base ng kanyang moral reasoning. Hindi pa yan masyado sa society. Konti pa lang. Pero pag once na may naniniwala siya sa universal ethical principle, sa social contract, sa authority, magiging post-conventional na yon. Which of the following is likely to be developed if infants are shown genuine affection? Saan dyan?
Genuine affection.
Ang clue mo dito is infant. Saan ba yung crisis ng infant?
Trust.
Trust. Yun yung first stage, di ba? Trust versus mistrust. If you show genuine affection sa bata, pagkakatiwalaan ka niya. Pero yung infant na yan, pag medyo kinukurot-kurot mo, inaano mo siya, magiging stranger sa sayo. Ayaw niya sayo, kumbaga. Kasi, ang alam lang nila sa time na yun is about trust. Kaya nga, during this time, mas pinagkakatiwalaan ng infant yung maid kung yun ang laging kinakasama. Di ba? So, trust. Minsan nga, hindi pa niya trusted ang tatay niya kasi hindi naman niya nakakasama araw-araw. Hindi naman niya, nakikita lang niya paggabi. So, tingnan mo na kagad dito kung ano yung na-identify. So, since infant siya, dito siya sa trust. Initiative kasi sa ano na to, preschools, autonomy sa elementary, eto na sa high school. May identity crisis na sila. What is the major conflict experienced by a child during phallic stage? Phallic. Ano yung phallic? Sa may sexual organs. Binamanipulate niyang sexual organs. It's letter
C.
Dito siya sa may sa
electric complex.
magkakaroon siya ng complex na ang winning, ito yung sa oral. Yung nahihirapang kung nasobrahan naman yung bata sa oral stage, yung pagpapa-bottle feed, mahirapan siyang kumain na ng solid food. Kasi nasanay siya sa bottle. Kaya meron lang yung particular time, instance na kailangan mag-bottle feed ang bata. Kasi alimbawa, 2 years old na nagba-bottle feed pa, mahirapan na yun na kumain ng solid food. Kasi nasobrahan na yung kanyang developmental task. Kaya nagkakaroon siya ng weaning. Ito namang toilet training sa anal stage ito. So during that anal stage, kung hindi na-train ang bata, magkakaroon siya ng problema. Magiging messy siya, untidy, hindi siya marunong yung umiihi na lang basta sa kanyang sa kanyang pwesto, mga ganun. So dito naman, sa sexual organs siya, nagkakaroon siya ng complex. Nagsiselos siya. Kasi dito, dito nila nararamdaman yung, babae ako, lalaki siya, parang gano'n. So, may Electra complex si baby girl sa kanyang nanay. May Oedipus complex si baby boy sa kanyang tatay. Kasi gusto lang niya nanay niya, mga gano'n. Puberty, ito na sa genital stage na. Which of the following statements best reflects the essence of Kohlberg conventional morality? Don't run that stop sign. It is against the law. Don't run that stop sign. You might dent the car. Sa una, ang inisip niya is
Law.
Law pala yun. So, bawal. So, ang pinaniwalaan na niya yung law. Dito naman, you might dent the car. Yung sarili pa rin niya, yung kotse. Don't run that stop sign. You might get a ticket.
Law pa rin.
Dito naman, authority. Makahuli siya ng otoridad. Don't run that stop sign. We agree that it might hurt somebody.
Morality.
So, ito, inisip na niya yung kapakanan ng iba. So, conventional is letter
D.
A. No? Anong stage ang conventional? Kay Lawrence Kohlberg, siya sa tawag doon. Ilang stages ba kay Kohlberg? 3. Pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Yung pre-conventional, yun yung sa mga bata, boy and girl orientation. Yung pangalawa, doon na siya about sa authority at saka law and order. Yung post-conventional naman, yung universal principle na of what is right and what is wrong. So eto, ang conventional sa law and order. Natakot siya sa law. Kung nalala niyo yung tatlong natin doon, tatlong stages, pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Pag natakot na siya sa law and order, yun na yan. Etong una is pre-conventional. Pangalawa, at saka C and D is for post-conventional. What is the learning experience during the infancy and early years? So letters. Yung D, cross out na yan. So ang pagpipilian mo lang dito dapat is schema or assimilation. Kasi accommodation, wala pa yan kasi infant pa lang yan eh, saka early years. Ang mostly is nag-assimilate lang sila. Kagaya ng sinabi natin na pag may makita, i-assimilate na niya, ito yan, ito yan. Ano bang example ng mga ganyan? Schema. This concept on the psychosexual theory means that a behavior has outlived its purpose and became inappropriate. So psychosexual yan. Negative siya. So ang mga choices naman, negative din lahat. Ibig sabihin sa sexual theory, pag ang behavior ay nasobrahan o nakulangan, anong mangyayari? So letter A, magkakaroon ng fixation. Fixated yung bata. Kaya ng mga example natin kanina about toilet training or weaning. Nagkakaroon kasi ng fixation yun. During this stage, children are not particularly concerned about rules. O take note ha, children. So ito yung first stage, pre-operational. Tatlong pagpipilian nito, pre-operational, conventional, saka formal operational. Ito, wala ito. So, children yan, wala pa silang, hindi pa nila pinapakialaman yung mga rules sa society. Wala pa silang pakialam doon. So, pre-operational. Kung ano lang yung rules sa family, sa school, yung palang ang pinaniwalaan. So, that is under pre-operational stage. Conventional, ito sabi ko kanina, na natakot na sila sa authority, yung law and order. Tapos formal operational, yung universal law, universal ethical principle. Yung mga universal laws about moral reasoning. Sexual urges remain repressed and children mostly interact with same-sex peers. These instances are under urges, letter
latency stage.
Latency, phallic, latency, oo, kasi eto na yung sa puberty. Latency stage bago etong genital kasi sa adults ito. Ito naman is children mostly interact with sex peers. Wala pa siyang same sex. Wala pa siyang tawag doon intimate relationship with the opposite sex. Ito yung sa genital stage. So, nasa latency stage pa rin siya. Sullivan's interpersonal model of personality, which describes the juvenile stage. Children relate successfully to same-sex peers. Child forms fulfilling peer relationship. A child begin to learn and delay in the gratification of needs and desires. So, parang okay naman yung ABC. Pero let's see kung saan yung general Yung B and C, magkapareho, pero mas general yung C. This about peers. Ito naman is same-sex peers lang siya. Ito, peer relationship. So it's either opposite sex or the same-sex peers. Learn and to delay immediate gratification of needs and desires. Letter C nga, mas general ang letter C. Pag ganito, huwag sabihin all of the above. Agad. Pero generally kasi, pag ganitong question, pag nabasa mo ng, okay naman lahat. So, all of the above. Generally, ganun. Pero, may exemptions. Pero parang ako din kanina, pagkabasa ko, ang sagot ko ay all of the above.
Juvenile stage.
Let's
Peer
go over later
relationship.
on by Sullivan's interpersonal model of relationship. Hindi natin kasi dinaskas masyado to eh. Kasi ito, seldom lang naman na lumalabas si Sullivan kasi hindi naman siya masyadong prominent sa mga theories. Identity and role confusion, yun na ay nasa high school. Pag college, malimit lang may identity crisis pa yan. Sa high school, mostly. Kasi pag college, ang concentration na lang ng mga tao is yung sa relationship, intimate relationship. So intimacy versus isolation pag college. So ang identity and role confusion, it naturally occurs especially during high school years. Mas lalo na pag nasa 16 years old, 15 years old, yan yung identity crisis na year. In Piaget's concrete operational stage, so sensory motor, mauna, concrete operational, and then yung formal operational. Hypothesis, correct? Tama lahat, pero learning
Nice
activities
answer.
involve problems of classification and order. May problem, may solution na din siya. Etong letter A, hypothesis formulation lang. If you look at yung stages, eto naman, evaluation lang. Eto, stimulating. Yung experimentation na. So, mas mainam talaga yung B kasi may problem and order na siya. Alam na niya i-classify yung order. And pag may order, syempre, meron na siyang solution. O kanino yung developmental task theory? Yung ang sabi ay, kada stages ng human development, meron siyang dapat i-perform or i-accomplish the task. Let's say, yung 2 years old, huwag mong piliting magbasa kasi hindi pa niya task yun. Mga ganon. Kanino dyan? O ang pinag-aralan lang naman natin dito si Havighurst lang. Wala naman si Anastasia, Harlock, si Herbart, kasama siya pero we have Havighurst. So si Havighurst, ang tatandaan mo diyan kaagad is developmental task. Siya talaga ang nag-pioneer sa developmental tasks on each stages of human development. Superego is mainly concerned with ano yung superego? Yung id, yung idea of letter C, right and wrong siya. Id, ego, superego. Yung id, nandun lahat yung mga desires. Pag inactuate mo yung desire, that is ego. Tapos, if you can identify what is right and wrong, that is superego. Basta may right and wrong, superego siya. Kaya I repeat, yung mga sexual desires sa unconscious mind natin, that those are id ang ginagamit. Ang ego naman is yung actual, ina-actuate mo yung mga nasa unconscious part of your brain. That is ego. And then, if you can identify now kung tama ba o mali yung ginawa mo, ang ginagamit mo na doon is super ego. Kung maalala niyo yung mga example natin doon ng mga pictures, ng mga gagawin ng tatlo, gano'n. Yung una is, ano ba yung example yung una? Sabi niya, gusto kong kumain. Sabi nung pangalawa, hindi, ayun ba? Yung isa. Pangalawa is, hindi ka pwedeng kumain kasi nasa middle tayo ng meeting. Yun yung ego. And then yung super ego, tama ba na kumain during meeting o mali? Parang o pareho din. Young girls experience rivalry with their mother. Electra complex. Para maano kayo, ma-master niyo ito. Kay Sigmund Freud. Cassie starts to question values and religious beliefs in an attempt to form her own identity. In which stage of Fowler's stage of faith does she imply? Kay Fowler ito. Hindi natin discuss to pero nandun sa PowerPoint. Letter A. Individuative reflective kasi yung individual nag-reflect siya ng kanyang faith, sarili niya. Kasi yung bata, she starts to question values and religious belief just to form her own identity. So individuative reflective faith stage. Own kasi so individual, tsaka reflection siya. Intelligence to. Kanino ang multiple intelligence? Identify the ninth intelligence, which is described as the ability to seek connections involving one's place in the family, school, community, and role in the world. They ask, why are we here? Kanino yung mga multiple intelligences? Kay Howard Gardner. Originally kasi 8 lang ang intelligence. Pero ang pang-9 is about naturalist, meron tayo nito. Intrapersonal, meron. Interpersonal, meron. Ito, existentialist ang pang-9. Existentialist. From the word existence. Kaya kino-question nila, why are we here? Why do we exist? Ano ang role natin sa mundo? So, yung mga taong nag-study sa ganun are what they have a special intelligence, the ninth intelligence, which is called existentialist intelligence. Yung naturalist, ito yung nature smart. Intrapersonal, ito yung self-smart. Interpersonal, people smart. Dito tapat tayo sa interpersonal kasi we love people. We love crowd. We love mingling with other people. We love conversation. Ito yung interpersonal. The father of modern psychology is si Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud. Pareho din ito. Sense of right and wrong. Saan dyan ang concern niya? Superego, id, ego. So letter B, 1. Superego lang. Sense of right and wrong. Superego. Oh, ito na naman, ulit-ulit tong mga accommodation assimilation. Kasi sabi ko kasi, every year, same concept, pero bagong example. Kaya ganito ang mga lumalabas na almost same question, pero yung the way the question is constructed, iba. Halimbawa, Ivana called a train a bus when she saw it for the first time. After a while, Alex informed her that she was looking at was a train. Hence, she modified her schema of a bus to include that buses are driven on dirt roads, and she developed a new schema for the concept of train. Pag bus lang daw, ang alam niya sa dirt road lang. Pag may sarili ng road, train. So anong kanyang doon? Ano ang na-realize na we have accommodation na yun. Binago na niya yung kanyang concept. Ito sinasabi ko kanina kay Howard Gardner as the proponent of multiple intelligences. Ms. Reyes observed that one of her students excels in activities requiring strength, speed, flexibility, balance, and hand-eye coordination. According to Howard Gardner, such natural intelligence can be identified as, anong intelligence yun? Yung sa sports. Flexibility, speed, anong intelligence siya? Hindi naman verbal logical, hindi rin. Interpersonal, medyo okay, pero ang answer is bodily kinesthetic. O kasi ito, strength, speed, activities, flexibility, balance. Ito yung mga sporty na tao. So pag mahilig sa sports, ang kanilang intelligence ay nasa bodily kinesthetic. Ito yung kagalingan naman ng batang. Kasi sa klase, hindi naman lahat magaling. May magaling sa sports. Seldom na may batang magaling sa lahat. Magaling na nga sa academics, sa math, magaling pa sa sports, magaling pa sa drawing, magaling pang sumayaw. Wala namang ganun, di ba? Kasi kanya-kanya meron talagang kagalingan. That's the idea of multiple intelligences. Pwede sa dalawa, tatlo, pero meron din talagang most prominent na kagalingan. Kung magaling talaga siya sa math, susunod doon, baka magaling din yun sa, hindi yan magaling sa sports. Kasi academician yun. Ganun naman usually, di ba? Yung mga nerd, mga magagaling, hindi sila masyado sa sports. So, ang susunod na kagalingan nila ay, it's either verbal. Yung magagaling sa sports naman, susunod doon, interpersonal. Magaling sa crowd. Having hers, ito yung developmental task. Ano daw ang task? Anong stage daw if you are fulfilling civic and social responsibilities? So, ibig sabihin, nasa kataas-taas na yun. Civic and social responsibilities. Adolescence, hindi. Early adulthood, hindi rin. So, nasa middle adulthood siya. Kasi ito na yung second to the last. Kaysa yung later maturity, hindi na. Ito, civic and social responsibilities.
Middle adulthood.
Pareho din. Sexual maturity and function and develop skills to cope with environment. Letter D. D. Genital. Sexual maturity siya. Kung sexual lang, manipulation of organs, ganun, sa phallic stage. Kung sa opposite sex, latency. Pero kung matured ka naman na and then development of skills, sa genital na yun. formal operation stage. O, ito na yung pinakamataas, kumbaga. Expect hypothetical reasoning from learners between 12 to 15 years old. Engage children in analogical reasoning as early as preschool to train them for HOTS. Ano yung HOTS? Higher order of thinking skills.
Higher order of thinking skills.
Yes. Preschool yun. Magpa-higher order of thinking skills ka. Hindi pa. Hindi naman. Hindi pa pwede. Kumbaga. Learners who are not capable of logical reasoning from age 8 to 11 lag behind their cognitive level. Hindi pa din. Let children be children. So let's see. Letter A. Marunong naman ng mag-reason out ang mga 12 to 15 years old. To work for value internalization, which level of morality should we help young people attain? Pre-conventional or post-conventional? Or between conventional and post-conventional? Value internalization na siya. So, siguro dito sa letter A, post-conventional. Kasi na-internalize nila yung value ng morality. So, ulit natin ito. Pre-conventional, ito yung sa family and playmates, doon pa sila naniniwala about those. Conventional sa law and order, sa authority. Post-conventional, ito na yung universal ethical principles. Kung ano yung morally right universally. Halimbawa, death penalty. So kung nasa Amerika ka, death penalty, tama. Pero kung nasa Pilipinas ka, mali. Kasi wala pa tayong death penalty. So si Vygotsky, again, is social learning. Sa kanya yung scaffolding. Yan lagi ang clue natin kay Vygotsky, scaffold or social learning theory. Matututo ka daw sa society mo. Interaction with your society. So 43, since they are not capable of interaction, children in the crib have no learning yet. Children learn well by passive presentation of information. Children learn from adults and other children. Children are independent problem solvers. So letter C. Ito, from adults and other children. Kaya nga tinawag na social learning theory kasi there is social interaction. Kaya tinawag niyang scaffolding. Kasi tulong-tulong yan, parang ladder to reach the goal. This stage of development is known as questioning age or exploratory because the child is constantly asking so many questions. Saan dyan? Siyempre, late childhood, hindi naman.
Early childhood.
Infancy, hindi din kasi kapapanganak pa. Ano ulit ang infancy? Kapapanganak na. Babyhood, ito lang yung 2 weeks to 2 years. 2 weeks lang ito. So, nasa early childhood siya. Early childhood, ito mga preschool. Ito yung questioning age. They ask so many questions. Siyempre, ang infancy, hindi na pa nakakapagsalita yan. Baby, hindi pa rin nakakapagsalita. So, may mili ka lang ng early childhood or late childhood. Pero ang late childhood, ito na yung mga nasa elementary. Mas palatanong ang mga early childhood learners. It is advisable to promote manipulative materials to a child in his early addition to develop o manipulative. Anong ibig sabihin ng manipulative? Mga operational. Anong may develop doon? Reading, numerical, social, pre-handwriting skills. We have Social, hindi naman. Pre-handwriting skills. Wait, parang naduda ako sa pre-writing skills. Pre-writing skills. Manipulative, yung minamanipulate sa early childhood. Correct. Kasi social, wala pa naman social skills sa early childhood. Yes. Pre-handwriting skills. So pag ganito, go back to the question, tignan mo yung yung subject, early childhood. So ito yung mga preschools. So pre-handwriting skills. Learning styles refer to the preferred way an individual processes information. Classify a student who learns best through verbal discussion, talking things. He is anong klaseng learner siya? Kung natututo siya sa lecture, verbally, discussion, talking things through, and listening to what others have to say.
Auditory.
Ano siyang auditory? Kasi ang clue nyo doon is listening. Ang ginagamit niyo dito is sa auditory, di ba? Sa tenga.
Audio, opo.
Audio. Okay. So ang sagot dyan is auditory learner siya. Pero kung yung mga images, doon siya natututo, dito siya sa visual. Analytic naman, more on numbers. Global, siguro issues yan, social issues, pero panggulo lang yung global. What is an education implication for this finding? Research says that development in one domain, physical, social, emotional, cognitive. Ano daw ang implication nito sa education? Use multiple intelligence approaches. Stimulate the sense of sight, which is the most important of all the senses. Use thematic teaching. Thematic means yung themes, coding. So 1 and 3. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng ang stimulate mo lang is sense of sight. Paano naman yung sense, yung other senses, di ba? So 1 and 3. Para daw ma-develop yung bata holistically, buong-buo. According to Eric Erickson, what is the primary task of adolescent? Adolescent. Anong stage sila? Sa may
identity.
And confusion. Trust, ito yung sa una, sa baby. Intimate with others, ito naman yung after adolescent, yung adults. Establish integrity, ito na yung sa career. So, pag adolescent, searching for identity. Fill in the blank. Psychosocial theory kay Eric Erickson. Blank. Ecological theory kay Yuri Bronfenbrenner. Ano naman ang kay Jean Piaget? So malamang itong cognitive development theory. Fill in the blanks. Stages of faith kay James Fowler. Kay Sullivan yung personality. Kaya naman ang developmental stage is kay Havighurst. Ito. Havighurst ang developmental stage. Okay, any questions?
None so far po.
So far, natututo naman.
Yes po.
Go over natin tong ibang mga questions sa part 2 para before we end this.